It was in January 1959 when 32-year-old Fidel Castro led his insurgents into Havana. Eisenhower was president. Color television and rock and roll music were almost brand new. Castro quickly assumed full control over Cuba's political and economic life and aligned himself with the Soviet Union when the Cold War was in full bloom. The U.S. responded with an embargo, then with the royally botched Bay of Pigs invasion in 1961. A year later, when the Soviets put offensive nuclear missiles in Cuba, the world came as close as it ever had to World War III. And over the decades that followed, Cuba repeatedly came to play an outsized role in American political affairs. In the mid-'70s, CIA efforts to kill Castro helped trigger congressional hearings that greatly limited the CIA's power. In 1980, a backlash in Arkansas over the handling of Cuban refugees cost Bill Clinton the governorship and almost ended his political life. The attempt by the Reagan administration to stop another Cuba from emerging in Nicaragua led it to provide aid to the Contras in defiance of Congress and gave Ronald Reagan his biggest political crisis. And in 2000, the fate of a young Cuban boy, Elian Gonzalez, helped deliver tens of thousands of Cuban-American votes to Republican George W. Bush in Florida. Without that incident, Al Gore would almost certainly have won Florida, and with it, the White House. Over the decades, Cuban-American relations have uniquely remained frozen in time. China, once seen as a certain future communist enemy, is now an enthusiastic trading partner. Communist Vietnam, with whom the U.S. fought a bloody decade-long war, now welcomes American investment and tourists. But Cuba remains off-limits, perhaps a testament to the Cuban-American voter. As for Castro himself, his survival can be credited to a highly unusual mix, a mix of authoritarian rule, no elections held, little if any dissent permitted, and personal magnetism. Years ago, one conservative publication described Castro as the only communist leader who could likely win a free election.